So this is called the dilemma of definition. Dilemma of definition. So many things, the problem with definition or the advantage of having a definition in any aspect of law is that when you have definition for something, it's easy for us to, there is clarity that this constitutes something and this doesn't come under the ambit of, let's say, if you, for example, if you define something as, let's say, wager, or let's say, if you define something as, you know uh, drugs or something like that, you what constitutes it. It's actually very difficult to define things in life. But if we define some of the things, then it becomes very easy to basically, and becomes more clear for people to understand, let's say, what constitutes a medical negligence, and what constitutes an absolute liability, etc. So these are things that, if we could define it, what causes a pandemic, if we could clearly define it, then there becomes a clarity that yes, this is a pandemic or this is not a pandemic, and we have to basically work accordingly. um, and provisions and certain provisions or laws or whatever one needs to do with that particular, after that definition, after that thing comes under the ambit of definition, one can follow that particular activity. However, if we do not have a definition, the disadvantage is that there is no clarity. So for example, if we don't have a definition of, let's say, a wagering contract, there is no clarity what is a wagering contract and what is not a wagering contract. Now that's definitely a disadvantage, but the advantage of not having a definition is that, or not having a very strict definition, is that you is that you can apply many things into its ambit. It's more flexible. So the difference is all about being rigid and being flexible. So when you are flexible, then more things can come under its ambit, and it could basically be changing from time to time. It could basically be, that same aspect of wager could stand from time to time because there is no definition, and many things can come under its ambit. However, if there is no definition, it's also not clear. So this is the dilemma of having a definition or not having a definition.